Behavioral needs are some of the most important, yet frequently most overlooked care requirements for your pet bunny. Bunnies are intelligent and curious creatures, and allowing them to perform their natural behaviors in captivity really helps the overall long-term well-being for your pet. So behavioral needs help with the mental stimulation of the pet. They also help with their overall comfort level living in your home. So if you think about how bunnies live in the wild, it will give you some insight on their behavioral needs. One of the things that is true for all the bunnies is that in the wild, they're a burrowing creature. Bunnies don't lay out in the middle of a field when they're resting. They would always be in a concealed area for the reason that they are a preyed upon animal. Bunnies get eaten by a hawk or a fox or things like that. So in the habitat, whatever habitat you're providing for your bunny, you always want a fully enclosed area where they can get away and feel safe. So those can vary in form. This here is an enriched life hut. And the cool thing about this hut is it's actually completely edible. So if the bunny decides to gnaw on it, it's actually fulfilling part of the maintenance needs by helping to wear the teeth down. And it's made out of timothy hay, which is a main component of their diet. So it's actually could fulfill a nutritional requirement as well, but it's large enough for most of the type bunnies that we would send home as a pet. The dwarf varieties will all fit in here as adults. It's got the little, the roof of it's edible too. This is made of a natural material that the bunny can chew up. So this is a really cool, really elaborate type of hiding spot. You have the woodland getaways. That's another type of hiding spot. Whether or not this will fit your bunny long term will depend on the variety that you take home. This will fit most bunnies while they're babies, but then in many cases they will outgrow this type of hiding spot. We also have the tropical fiddlestick. So these are actually wired together, and you can make a little half circle type enclosure like that. This will fit under the shelf of many multi-level bunny homes. And because you can vary the height of it depending on how you actually bend this and make it, make it into its final form, it'll accommodate more different sizes of bunnies. They won't fit entirely in here, but particularly their face will be concealed. And then if you're putting it under the shelf, the rest of the bunny's under their shelf feeling nice and secure. And again, this is made of wood, as is the woodland getaway, so if the bunny gnaws on it, that's going to be fine. They do make plastic igloos, which are fine because, like this is a fairly large igloo. This will fit many of the dwarf varieties of bunnies. Some people like the fact that because it's plastic, you can clean it, whereas the wood ones, you can't really completely clean them if they get peed on. However, this is much more likely to get chewed up, and the chewing is not very functional for the bunny, and we certainly don't want the bunny eating plastic. So if you do get one of these, kind of watch what your bunny does with it. If he starts chewing it up, this is probably not the best thing long term. So that covers one of the primary behavioral needs just for the bunny to feel comfortable in your home. If you don't give them a hide, your bunny's gonna be on edge all the time because they're waiting for the hawk to come and get them, So like having the enclosed ability for the bunny to get away from everything and feel comfortable is very important for the quality of the bunny's life. Now, if we think about other behavioral needs for bunnies, bunnies are eating a lot of their day. They spend much of their day foraging. So foraging means that they're like looking and trying to find food. So this is a grass mat. It's actually 100% edible hay. And if you look at the back, it's woven together. And what you would do is you put this in the habitat or the bunny's play yard, and you actually would give them treats. And you would hide the treats in the grass. And so then the bunny is foraging, trying to find those treats. So that is fulfilling a very natural behavior for the bunny. It stimulates them mentally, and it just gives them something interesting to do throughout their day. Similar, we have a dig box. So this is a garden dig box, and again, it's got little, it looks like little vegetables, but they're all made out of edible, either hay or wicker or paper product. And you put treats in between the little bits of fluff in here, and the bunny has to figure out how to get the treats, and they'll chew the things up and they'll dig and they'll have a good time. And again, this is providing mental stimulation for the bunny and fulfilling an instinctive need to forage. Something that meets kind of a dual purpose of hiding and foraging and searching is your Enriched Life Explorer Hide Maze. So it's literally just a bunch of cardboard, little holes in there. You can put treats in there. You can kind of provide a variety of different things inside of here. Things to chew on, treats, things to hide in, and this is just going to be very interesting for your bunny to interact with. So this is very good if you get the sort of habitat that provides a larger play yard area, or for those times you're going to allow your bunny out in a larger room with your supervision. This is a fun thing for your bunny to do. Then, particularly for those moments where you have the bunny out in a play yard area where it's enclosed, they have the activity centers, the play centers. So this is wood, and it comes with some of the dangling things to chew on. So again, that's going to meet a maintenance need for their teeth. But then you can add to it. As the things that are included with it are chewed off, you can attach new things. You can attach a kebab, you can attach some vegetables, you can attach some treats, all to this activity center, which you'd probably have out in your play yard. The other thing they have is a play wall. And again, the play wall is completely edible. This one's made out of a woven natural material. The little bolts on it, the screws, are actually all wood, so that's pretty cool. And it comes with 3 of the dangling things to chew on. And this has those little wicker balls. You can even maybe shove treats in between the weave of the little ball, and they'll have to figure out how to gnaw that open and get the treat out. So with a lot of these things, you're anticipating that the bunny's going to chew up the stuff, and that's how they're interacting with it to show that they've enjoyed it. We also have actual bunny toys, and there's probably 30 different options. So I just picked one. So this is going to be part of their playing type thing. The bunny will actually carry these things around. They'll flip them, they'll throw them, they'll chew them up. So there's, like I said, there's 30 different types of bunny play toys, but providing something that meets this sort of requirement for the bunny, where they can just drag it around, chew on it, throw it, they'll actually flip it and throw it. That's going to provide some of their playing behavioral needs. And then we have the foraging sticks. So a little nutritional and a little behavioral, because again, they're not getting dishes of food in the wild. They've got to work and gnaw and chew on stuff to get their nutrition. So this is a treat. It's not a main part of the diet, but it's you hang it up on the side of the cage, and that's going to, they're just going to gnaw on it and have a good time with it, and that's going to be great. Another thing that is a behavioral type thing would be teaching your bunny to walk on a harness. It's not a thing that you have to do with your bunny. If you don't have any interest in walking your bunny on a harness, don't do it. But if you think you do want to do it, getting your bunny familiar with walking on a harness while they're young is very helpful for that bunny to feel comfortable with it later in life. So while you're in the store, we can fit the bunny for a harness. This is a combo, so it comes with a harness and a leash. It has kind of a all the way around fabric wrap, so you don't have any thin nylon cutting into the bunny at all. It's fairly comfortable, but it's important to get a good fit, because the way the bunny's body is shaped, if it's not a good fit, they can wiggle right out of it. And we would not recommend you walk your bunny outside at all until they're very comfortable on the harness inside. And also that gives you the ability to know whether or not the bunny's going to slip out of it, because that is a thing that could happen if the harness isn't fitting perfectly. So that's a thing to do for their behavioral thing if you're going to intend to walk the bunny on a harness. So those are the things that meet the bunny's behavioral requirements, and that's, like I said, it's something that many people overlook, but it's very important to the long-term mental health and quality of life for your pet bunny. If you have any questions about these items, please come in store and ask one of our pet counselors.